Did you know Americans collectively owe over 17 trillion? That's trillion with a T, a big fat T, in consumer debt. That's more than the GDP of many countries. If debt is holding you back, you're not alone. Let's tackle it together. Welcome back to Simply Money. Today, we're talking about paying off debt fast. I'll share simple, actionable steps that can help you regain financial freedom and start building the life you want. Imagine your life with no debt. Imagine not having to pay that car payment, pay those credit cards, pay that student loan, pay a mortgage. Imagine all that money being yours in the bank each month to do something else with. Enjoy life now. Build your investments for your future tomorrow. The power of not having debt is amazing that is so overlooked by our society because our society pushes debt, debt, debt. And I'm telling you, it's freeing and it's powerful. Debt can feel like quicksand. It's hard to get out and it only gets worse if you're not careful. So there's some steps we have to take. High interest rates can keep you paying for years without making a dent. 25% on credit cards. You're paying and paying, and you're hardly removing principal because you're paying so much interest. Minimum payments barely touch the principal balance. Even if you have a lower interest rate and you're only able to make the minimum payment, it's hardly eating at the principal. They have it designed where it builds them wealth by keeping you entrapped in debt. Minimum payments just kill you. And that overwhelming feeling of being trapped can make it hard to know where to start. Where to even start? I've had people talk to me and be like, I don't even know where to begin. How do I get out of this mess I've created? I've been there. I created some financial mess for my family, and thankfully I was able to get help and able to get through it and to learn how to manage my money, not only manage it, but to get out of debt, completely debt-free, and build wealth. And it is freeing, it's liberating, and it's powerful, and you can do it too. But here's the truth. With the right strategy, you can break free faster than you think. Let's talk strategy. The most important thing is we have to get a plan together. So I'm going to talk 3 different things we can do. Number 1, the snowball method. If you've never heard of the snowball method of paying off your debt, it's by paying off the smallest debt first and build momentum and confidence. What I mean by the smallest debt, you line your debts up, the smallest dollar amount, not worrying about interest rates. We're not talking about your house. Let's just put that aside. That's a separate debt we deal with. But credit cards, student loans, car payments, whatever you have, HELOCs, you put all your debts in order to what is the smallest dollar amount. Then everything else, you pay what the minimum is. I know we just talked about minimums a second ago, but in this strategy, you want to pay minimum on all the others except the smallest amount. That one, you're going to put as much free cash as you can to get that paid off as quickly as possible. Get that one paid off. You take the money you were putting on that one and you put it with the minimum payment that you were making on the second smallest. You don't take some of that money that you now have free from the first debt and spend it. You roll it into the second debt along with that minimum payment and keep paying the minimum payment on the other debts. When you pay the second one off, you take all of that and put it with the minimum payment on the third. And you do that until all your debts are paid off. It's like a snowball. This one's meant for psychological victories. I got one paid off quick because it was a small amount. I may not have saved quite as much if I had done it another way we'll look at, but I got it paid off quick. I'm excited. I've made progress. Now I do the second one, third one. Before long, you have paid them all off and you are free from your debt. The second method is the avalanche method. This is kind of the reverse. Now you're lining all your debts up based on which one has the highest interest payment. This is a mathematical approach. This one's going to actually save you the most money, and sometimes, depending on the situation, it can actually be pretty negligible. I really encourage you to do the one that will help you the most. I always tell people the one that works best is the one that you use and stick with. But the avalanche method is same thing. You line everything up, but highest interest first. Everything below that, you put the minimum payment toward. The first one with the highest interest, you put as much cash as you can. Now, it may take longer to pay off because it may be a higher amount than some of the lower ones, but you're saving the most interest because you're taking care of the highest interest first. Once that one's paid off, you take all of that amount and roll it into the second highest interest in, along with the minimum payment that you're making, and pay that one off. Same thing to the third, fourth, whatever, all the way till you're done. Boom, you're debt free. We can go into strategies after you've paid off your consumer debts and all that to how you can then start working on paying off your house and building your investment portfolio and building your net worth and your wealth. But we first have to deal with the debt. Before we go any further, if you haven't watched other videos, I want to make sure those that don't realize before you tackle your debt, you need to get a little money put aside. $1,000, $2,000, a little bit of money just as an emergency in case something happens while you're tackling this debt. If something happens, you don't have any cash, you have to put money back onto those credit cards. That's the defeat that you feel, and psychologically it defeats you. You want to have a little money aside. You can say, okay, I can go pay for that car repair. I don't have to stop what I'm doing. I don't have to go further in debt. And then maybe you build that back up a little bit, and then you pick up on the debt snowball or debt avalanche once again. So again, make sure you have a little money set aside. The third thing is budgeting and cutting expenses. Making a strategy is important, but you have to have a plan. Find extra money by cutting unnecessary expenses and directing that toward your debt. This may make some sacrifices. There may be some things that you can be like, oh, I didn't even realize I was still spending that membership. You can get rid of. Maybe you can cut down on how much you eat out. Maybe you can reduce some other expenses. Perhaps you get rid of some things like cable or something for short term. Even if it's just, I'm just going to make this sacrifice so I can get out of debt. Find some things you're willing to give up short term to help you reach this goal, because then you have more money to put toward that debt and make that go even faster. And these strategies are powerful tools to crush your debt efficiently. It's not hopeless, but you have to make a plan, get a strategy, and stick with it. If you need help, reach out to the community. Go to the Simply Money Mall. You can find the link below. Tons of tools, a community there, budgeting app that you can use. You can download it on your phone so it's right with you, and it can help you reach your goals, or some goal setting tools that you can set. If you want to set your debts, it puts it whether you want to use the Avalanche or the Snowball method. You choose, and it sets that up after you input what debts you have, how much you owe. It helps you watch it, and it's on your phone with you everywhere you go. And so as you're about to do something, you have it there to check. Say, yes, I have the money in that fund, or no, I don't, and I don't want to ruin the progress I'm making. Wonderful opportunity. Get your free membership key in the link below. Again, the most effective strategy, what is it? Combining focus and consistency. Doesn't matter if it's the Snowball method, the Avalanche method, or some other method that you come up with. It doesn't matter if you don't combine focus and consistency. Those are your two keys. For example, one family I worked with tackled $50,000 in credit card debt in 2 years using the Avalanche method. While sticking to a strict budget, they eliminated high-interest accounts first, freeing up more cash each month for the remaining balances, and this approach saved them thousands in interest payments and gave them peace of mind. And then guess what? They started making more money, and they had fewer bills, and they felt like they had hit the jackpot. It is a wonderful feeling. Debt freedom is achievable, whether it's a Snowball or Avalanche method or a mix of both. Stay disciplined and consistent is key to paying off your debt faster than you ever imagined. What's holding you back from tackling your debt? Leave a comment below. Let us know. We want to help you. We want to encourage you. Do you need support? Do you need advice? Ask in the comments. We'll be glad to provide support and help. We'll throw this out there. Be careful. Sometimes people put comments. I'm not selling you anything. There's not going to be anything in my comments that should be advocating for you to buy something. Be careful of spam that's out there in all YouTube videos. I encourage you to make sure you take advice with due diligence, do your own research, but the community is there to provide support and advice for you. If you like these videos, hit a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Simply Money.
Okay, true.